Stadiums are among the oldest forms of urban architecture. Vast stadiums where the public could watch sporting events were at the center of the Western city life as far back as the ancient Greek and Roman empires. Well before the construction of the great medieval cathedral and the late 19th and 20th century railway station, which dominated the urban skylines in later eras. Today, however, stadiums are regarded with growing skepticism. Construction costs can surge about 1 1 million, and stadium finished for major events such as Olympic Games or the FIFA World Cup have notably fallen into disuse and disrepair, but not this need not be the case. This need not be the case. History shows that stadiums can ride urban development and adapt to the culture of every age. Every age. Even today, architects and planners are finding new ways to adapt the monofunctional sports arenas, which become the emblematic of modernization during the 20th century. The amphitheater of Arles in South France, with the capacity of 25,000 spectators, is perhaps the best example of how versatile stadiums can be. Built by the Romans in 1980, it became a fortress with four towers after the 5th century and were then transformed into a village containing more than 200 houses. With the growing interest in conservation during the 19th century, it was converted back into an arena for the staging of bonfires, thereby returning the structure to its original use as a venue for public spectacles. Another example is the imposing arena of Verona in northern Italy, with space for 30,000 spectators, which was built 60 years before the Arles amphitheater and 40 years before the Rome's famous Colosseum. Its were endured the centuries and is currently considered one of the world's prime sites for opera, thanks to its outstanding acoustics. This area is the center of the Italian town of Lucca, known as the Pisa del Amphitheatre, is yet another impressive example of an amphitheater becoming absorbed into the fabric of the city. The site catering in a similar way to Arles and was progressively filled with buildings from Middle Ages until the 19th century. Various used houses, a salt depot, and a prison, but rather than reverting to an arena, it became a market square designed by Romanticist architect Lorenzo Nattolini. Today, the ruins of the amphitheater remain embedded in the various shops and residences surrounding the public squares. There are many similarities between modern stadiums and the ancient amphitheaters intended for games, but some of the flexibility was lost at the beginning of the 20th century as stadiums were developed using new products such as steel and reinforced concrete and made use of bright lights for nighttime matches. Many such stadiums situated in suburban areas designed for sporting use only and surrounded by parking lots. These factors mean that they may not be as accessible to the general public, require more energy to run, and contribute to urban heat. And, but many of today's most innovative architects see scope for the stadium to help improve the city. Among the current strategies to seem to be having particular success. The stadium is an urban hub and is a power plant. There's a growing trend for stadiums to be equipped with public spaces and services that serve a function beyond sport, such as hotel, um, the retail outlets, conference centers, restaurants and bars, children's playground and green space, creating mixed-use developments such as rent for compactness and multifunctionality, making more efficient use of land and helping to regenerate urban spaces. This opens space this opens the space up to families and a wider cross section of society instead of instead of um, instead of instead of instead of instead of catering only to sports people and supporters. There have been many examples of this in the UK. The mixed-use facilities at Wembley and Old Trafford have become a blueprint for many other stadiums in the world. The phenomenon of stadiums as power stations has arisen from the idea that energy problems can be overcome by integrating interconnect interconnected building by means of smart grid, which is an electricity supply network that uses digital communication technology to detect and react to local changes in usage without significant energy losses. Stadiums are ideal for this purpose because the canopies have a large surface area for fitting photovoltaic panels and rise high enough, more than 40 meters, to make use of micro wind turbines. Freiburg Marsch Solar Stadium in Germany is the first of a new wave of stadiums as power plants, which also includes the Amsterdam Arena and the Kaohsiung Stadium. The latter, inaugurated in 2009, has 8,844 photovoltaic panels producing up to 1.14 gigawatt of electricity annually that reduce the annual output of carbon dioxide by 660 tons and supplies up to 80% of the surrounding area when the stadium is not in use. This is a proof that a stadium can serve its city and have a decidedly positive impact in terms of reduction of CO2 emissions. Sporting arenas have always been central to the life and culture of cities in every era. The stadium has acquired new value and uses, from a military fortress to residential village, public space to theater, and most recently a field for experimentary experimentation in advanced engineering. The stadium of today now bring together multiple functions, thus helping cities to create a sustainable future.